Hello friends, and welcome back to Eastern Healing. I am aware that my camera is a little bit crooked. I have been fiddling with it for a long time. This is take 3. I'm sorry, okay? It's just the way it is. It's like one of the tripod, one of the legs is, anyway, it's just the way it is. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about chakras and Marma points. And this is a concept that we are a little bit more familiar with in the West. Chakras, or at least a vague awareness of chakras, is something that sort of seeped in and made its way into the wellness world. So, but even so, we are going to still cover the whole shebang, and so here we go. So chakra, the word, means wheel in Sanskrit. And that's because, so the energy in our body is meant to be flowing freely, being able to flow and expand and do its job all the time. But it especially flows through the path of the spine, right? And we're talking about the pranayama now, the vital body, the energy body. Now, in the spine, as it goes along the spine, there's seen to be these areas where it kind of swirls and collects before moving on. And in order for us to be healthy and moving upward on our path to enlightenment and having a high quality, well-expressed life, the idea is that we would be in pursuit and maintenance of good, well-aligned, well-balanced, free-flowing chakras where there's nothing blocking or impinging it, right? Or taking it out of balance. So, there's 7 of them, and they're said to start at the base of the spine, so that's like by your tailbone, also by the genitals, because that's the same area. So they start at the bottom and they work their way up. And you can kind of think of the chakras as a metaphor for enlightenment, except it's more than just a metaphor, because remember that in Ayurveda, their pursuit of enlightenment is, it's very, like they see you as an integrated being, like it's not just an understanding mentally. You have to get your system in balance, your koshas in balance, your dosha in balance. And part of that is you're going to be keeping your chakras in balance. And so what you're meant to be doing is you focus your attention from the bottom up. So you start at the base of the spine, the root chakra, and you make sure that one's good. And then you move on and you balance and you look at your next chakra and you move up and you look at your next chakra, right? And so it's not just a metaphor for enlightenment. It's like a recipe for enlightenment. But you still have to do the things. You got to bake the cake. You can't just look at the recipe. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up, because that's how you're supposed to do it. So starting at the root chakra. As I said, this one's located at the base of the spine. So if I take my guy, that would be like down by your tailbone, right? And that has to do, your root chakra has to do with like your basic existence, your survival, right? You need food to live, but you don't just need food, you also need shelter. In this world, you have to make sure your finances are at least not a complete atrocity, right? So this has to do with making sure that your basic existence and survival is not in question. And how this manifests, if you have like a good well-balanced root chakra is like a confidence that you can weather life's storms. That even if tragedy were to strike, you would be able to weather that storm. You would be able to respond and you would be okay, you know? And so obviously, experiences that challenge our survival, like, for example, let's say a hurricane destroys your home. Obviously, that would be an experience that challenged your survival. That experience is going to put blockages into the energy of your root chakra because that aspect of yourself was in question, you know, that aspect of your life. So, so when it's blocked or out of balance, you might feel threatened. You might get stuck in like a scarcity mindset. So that would be like your root chakra. You know, ideally, you're going to feel confident that you can weather the challenges of the world and still be okay. And yeah, so that is the root chakra. Next, we have the sacral chakra, and this is located just up, like in your lower abdomen. There's a structure at the bottom of your spine called your sacrum, and it's like it's like a big triangle, lumpy triangle bone, like way down in your low back of the hips. And you can also see it pictured as like the lower abdomen. So your sacral chakra is like the next step up from survival. You don't just want food. You want good food, you know. You want to wear nice clothes. You want your music playing. You want a comfy house that you are vibing with in your home. And you want to have good sex. And you want to have good experiences, you know. So our sacral chakra is our sensual center. Our sensual chakra. And it's not just associated with pleasure, it's also associated with like creativity and play, you know? So when your sacral chakra is in balance, you have this sort of a sense of abundance and satisfaction with your life, you know? And you also can hold your center when dealing with others in like a I honor others but not before myself kind of a way, you know, so that you are having your me time, you are taking care of yourself, you are chilling when you need to. And when your sacral chakra is out of balance, now you can see it kind of go two different ways. So when your sacral chakra is out of balance, you might see that manifest as like a tendency towards addiction or a lack of impulse control. Like, whoa, I want, you know, this, I want that, I want to feel good all the time. Let's get high, you know. So you can see that as like that manifest as addiction, but you can also see it go the other way when it's out of balance in like a not practicing self-care, not honoring yourself and your own needs and desires, not allowing yourself to experience good things because you're just working that grind all the time, you know? So when our sacral chakra is in balance, then again, we have this contentment, we have this satisfaction, we feel good, we feel like we can play, we feel like we can engage and we do engage in self-care. And that would be an imbalance sacral chakra. Next up, we have the lower abdomen sacral chakra, and then you have the solar plexus chakra. And this one is located just like below the sternum. So if you're on your own chest and you work your way down the sternum, just where it gets squishy, don't push on there too hard. There's a little bone in there and you don't want to fracture it. That would hurt. But just below the sternum, your solar plexus chakra is called your power chakra, is how it's often translated, because it has to do with your confidence and decisiveness, you know. When this chakra is balanced, you make decisions easily. You know what you want, and you know how to go for it. You have the ability to focus your willpower, make progress on your goals, including your long-term goals. You can be a go-getter. You can fight and you can win, you know. So that's your solar plexus chakra. If it's out of balance, now you might suffer from indecisiveness, self-doubt, or conversely, you might be overly controlling, aggressive, or manipulative towards others, right? But ideally, it would be in balance, right? And then you can be decisive. You can know what you want, and you can take actions towards that thing, right? So that's your solar plexus chakra. And moving up, now we're at the heart chakra. The heart chakra is located in the center of your chest, and this is the chakra of love. And that includes showing love towards the people in your life, but also receiving love in a way that's graceful and grateful and that you can accept and believe. So this chakra is seen as really being a bridge from the more physical realm related chakras to the more spiritual chakras. And also has to do with loving ourselves. So again, this is where we kind of make that transformation from the materialistic stuff towards the more spiritual stuff. When in balance, your heart chakra allows you to experience deep compassion, empathy, altruism. I would argue people who donate their kidneys to strangers have a very well-functioning heart chakra. When out of balance or blocked, you might struggle with self-worth. You might struggle with relationships, with deep connections, with being able to feel vulnerable, like be vulnerable with other people, or also to have compassion for other people. So that's our heart chakra. Moving up from that, you then get the throat chakra. And your throat chakra is right in your voice box, in your larynx, right in the center of your throat there. And this is the chakra that gives expression to the heart, right? So these are seen as very linked. I mean, all of the chakras are linked, but these are especially linked. And it allows us to speak our truths clearly and firmly, right? If it is out of balance or blocked, might have trouble expressing yourself, whether that's in like finding the right words or just clenching down on your voice due to anxieties. Conversely, if it's out of balance, you might find someone who's prone to lying or who is very forceful and shouts all the time. So yeah, the throat chakra, it has to do with the expression of yourself and your heart and speaking your truth and all that good stuff. That is the throat chakra. So next, moving up through the throat, you have your third eye, and it's not the third eye is not directly between the eyebrows. It's actually just up. If you feel the inside of your own eyebrows, and then you come in and kind of go up, there'll be like a little divot just above the eyebrow line, like right there. Usually there's a little divot in your head, and that is the third eye chakra. That's where they would place it anatomically on each individual person, right? So the third eye chakra is associated with like your metaphysical vision, like your intuition, your ability to have vision, see the big picture, if you know what I mean. And that has to do with the big picture of your life, in your imagination of where you can go with your life, but also exploring things beyond purely the physical. So an open third eye would allow us to be an open-minded person, have imagination, be in touch with our intuition. People who feel like they're guided by spirituality. You know, these would be people who have a more open, flowing third eye. While a blocked or unbalanced one might lead you to feel a lack of clarity in your life, have a lack of wisdom or foresight in your life, and a lack of direction. Also, this might be people who are closed-minded about spirituality. So, for example, let's say that you know someone who, and you're going along this chakras, you're thinking about this person, they have their finances and their survival in order. They know how to have fun. They know how to take care of themselves. They can make decisions and they know what they want. They can give and receive love. They can speak their truth. But man, are they a militant atheist. And that doesn't mean they're a bad person or don't believe in morals, right? But they, like, ghosts don't exist. Metaphysical does not exist. Deities do not exist. I don't believe in it. It's not real. I've never seen anything and you haven't either. There's just a bunch of mass hallucinations out there, right? So if you have a blocked third eye, this might be that, like, somebody who is still a good person, but just has a blockage or a refusal to see anything of a spiritual nature. Or it might be like a lack of clarity in their own life and in their own path. So all of these chakras, you can often see them, like, imbalances can manifest in different ways. So that would be like a blocked third eye chakra. So after the third eye, then we move up to the crown chakra. So third eye to crown. And this is on the tippy top of the head. Sometimes it is pictured as actually being above your head, because remember that the chakras are in your pranayama, or pranamaya, pardon me, your energy body, your vital body sheath. And so it's physically bigger than your physical, like it's bigger than your physical body. So it can be pictured as outside your physical body on the top of your head. So the crown chakra represents basically enlightenment. And we all have one, but we aren't using them. So in order to open and have a free-flowing crown chakra, you basically they would say that you would have to become a monk, right? You would have to devote hours and hours and days and weeks and years to meditation, yogic practices, getting your system, your whole nervous system and your whole chakra system in alignment in order to open the crown chakra and attain samadhi or divine enlightened bliss, right? So that being said, even though we're not all walking around in an enlightened state all the time, you know, we have a crown chakra, we're just not using it. It is still possible to have it be very blocked or very out of balance. So for most of us, maybe we're not accessing this higher consciousness or this fully experienced spirituality, but we don't have like a big issue with the crown chakra. If you have like a big issue, a major blockage or lack of balance in the crown chakra, now you're looking at someone who would be prone to extreme cynicism and disregarding what is sacred. Potentially a lack of ability to conceive of spirituality or sacredness in general. So this would be unlike someone who has like a third eye, where they're just, you know, maybe they don't have vision in their life, but maybe they're just like, the spiritual aspect of stuff does not exist, is how they feel. If you've got a blockage in your crown chakra, according to Ayurveda, this would be more like someone who if they let me take advantage of them, I'm going to take advantage of them. You know, like if you get in my way and I bowl you over, I guess you shouldn't have been standing there, you know? So it's more like someone with an extreme like lack of morals, because they don't believe, they have a lack of ability to conceive of morality, spirituality, sanctity of life, goodness, you know? So that would be someone who more had like a severe blockage in their crown chakra, is someone who has just a complete disregard for things that other people might consider moral or sacred. So that's the chakras. And maybe I should have doodled a little picture, but I didn't do it. Just imagine one of those pictures, you know, where you've got like the colored balls that are going down the 7 chakras. And if you'll notice, in addition to these basic concepts, there are other things that are associated with the chakras. For example, those colored balls on the charts, they're always going to be the same color. The root chakra at the base of the spine is always going to be red. The sacral chakra, the sensual center, that's always going to be orange. Solar plexus is yellow. Heart is green. Throat is blue. Third eye is kind of like a indigo bluey purple. And your crown chakra is going to be violet. So, and those colors are consistent. And as are the relationships of the chakras. So like if you get a chakra bracelet and it has certain gems or crystals on it in a particular order, if they're doing their homework, each of those crystals or gems are going to be specifically the ones that are associated with each chakra. So let's say you have an Ayurvedic practitioner and he's trying to help someone struggling to get pregnant, maybe. So pregnancy is associated with fertility and and therefore creation and therefore creativity and the sacral chakra. So sacral chakra is supposed to be orange, right? So they would maybe encourage them to eat orange foods, etc. You know, and they'd give them maybe an orange crystal, and they'd this is a very simplistic way of saying it, but basically there are things associated with each of these chakras. And if you have an Ayurvedic practitioner who says like, you sir have a blockage in your third eye chakra, they're going to utilize the things that are associated with that chakra, including colors, foods, crystals, the whole shebang. And that is a big part of where the like crystal usage came in, and chakra like stuff came into the wellness industry, is from seeping in from Ayurveda. So in the reading, I have linked another YouTube video describing the chakras, and this one is just, you know, just in case it would be helpful for you to hear this again in a different way. It's from a child's cartoon, so it's a little bit more visual because you can see the images on the screen. So hopefully you like that and it speaks to you. But this is getting to be a long talk. Let's just move right along. Those are chakras. Let's talk about Marma points. Now, Marma points you've probably never heard of by name, unlike chakras. But I want to remind you that chakras are not actually directly accessible from the outside. So if I'm a practitioner or I'm a massage therapist, an Ayurvedic massage therapist, I can't do jack squat to your chakras. You can do stuff to your chakras with your lifestyle, your diet, your meditative practices, yoga. You can affect your chakras. Your life can affect your chakras, but I can't affect your chakras. What I can affect are your Marma points. So You maybe, depending on your background, have heard of people massaging chakra points or treating chakra points. And they'll be talking about the chakras in your hands, on your throat, in your body. And those are not chakra points, those are Marma points. Your chakras are within the energy flow of your spine, but kind of similar to traditional Chinese medicine where you have these meridians that flow out. Marma points are seen to be points on your body that are actually accessible, like an acupoint. Now, it's not exactly the same as a TCM acupoint because in traditional Chinese medicine, you have this meridian, this like flow of energy, and the points will be along the meridian. That's not the case with Marma points. With Marma points, you have flows of energy in your body, but you also have physical aspects of your body. So lymph nodes, lymph vessels, nerves, muscles, energy's flowing through there. And a Marma point.
Oh no, an alarm went off and shut off my recording. I don't have time to start from the beginning again. Now the camera's even more crooked. Okay, I even got dressed up for this video and I'm still gonna have to redo it later. All right, so let's talk about Marma points, right? So Marma points are points on the body where flows of energy and other also important structures like lymph, nerves, stuff crisscross each other. And where you have one of these intersections, you will have a Marma point. So it's not along a flow of energy along a meridian the way an acupuncture point is along a meridian, but it will be where a flow of energy, a nadi, or a nadis, crosses like a nerve and a lymph vessel and stuff, right? So, unlike acupoints, Marma points are seen as being very delicate. If you can think of like if you have a lymph node there and a nerve's close by and stuff, they're not going to stick it with a needle. That would be considered to be potentially damaging to the Marma point. So there are said to be about 107 of them, and because they are seen to be very delicate, we're gonna sometimes gently massage them, but most of the time you're gonna put on like a compress, make a little bag of herbs and like warm oils and just like hold the bag of oils and herbs onto the Marma point. Or sometimes they might be generally massaged or use compresses or heat or oil or something. So if you look at in the reading, I do have a picture of Marma points at the bottom, and you can see some of them you would definitely not want to needle because some of them are on the throat, they're along arteries, they're in the groin, This is not some place that we are going to be stabbing in Ayurveda. So the basic difference between chakras and Marma points is that chakras are along your spine, they're in your energy body, and we can't access them from the outside. Marma points are physically accessible because they have to do with where the flow of energy crisscrosses other things like nerves, muscles, lymph, stuff, right? And so I can interact with Marma points. And it's interacting with a Marma point is going to help the balance of your body and therefore help your chakras, but it's not going to be like massaging a chakra directly. So I hope that's clear. I kind of got thrown off track by my alarm going off there. Anyway, if you look in the reading, there's other Marma points. I'm so annoyed with this recording right now, you guys.
And also at the bottom of the reading, so up by the top, or not the top, up in the kind of in the middle, after I am done writing about chakras, I have a chakra video just saying the same things in a different way. And then at the bottom above the Marma point diagrams, I have some videos just kind of talking more about Marma points. There's like some massage Marma point stuff for the face. There's a dude talking about his school and his healing methods, and he's going to describe Marma points. And anyway, I'm done. That's it. I can't take it anymore. The video has defeated me. This is what you get, and I'm sorry. Have a good day, guys. I guess I didn't make up a thing in advance. For your assignment, for your weekly discussion post assignment, just post if you knew anything about chakras before, if you learned anything new, and maybe there's a chakra that really spoke to you, or that like, I need to work on that chakra myself, whatever. There you go. Have a good night.